order to qualify as a steal in this video, a player must have been drafted in the 10th round or later in the 1970s. I've selected the best player at each offensive position. Let me know in the comments who you think deserves to be added. Billy White Shoes Johnson was only 5'9" and 170 pounds, but he was known for making big plays. Drafted in 1974's 15th round, he is only one of 3 NFL players selected from Widener College. He's a member of the Hall of Fame All-1970's team and All-1980's team as a kick returner, yet he's not a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He returned 6 punt returns and 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns. As a bonus, he caught 25 touchdown passes. Brian Sipe played with the Browns from 1974 through 1983. He was the Browns' 1972 13th round draft pick and was a member of their taxi squad in 1972 and 1973. Sipe's head coach at San Diego State was future Pro Football Hall of Famer Don Coryell. In 1979, Sipe had the rare distinction of leading the NFL in both passing touchdowns and interceptions. He finished 3rd in the NFL MVP vote. In 1980, he threw 30 touchdown passes with only 14 interceptions, led the NFL in passer rating, and won the NFL MVP award. On the west coast of California was another quarterback who was a long shot to make it in the NFL. Drafted in the 1977 10th round by Dallas, San Francisco claimed Steve DeBerg on waivers September 12, 1977. He deserves honorable mention due to an 18-year career that produced 196 touchdown passes and 34,241 passing yards. In 1979, he led the NFL in pass attempts and pass completions, which were both NFL records at the time. In 1979, head coach Bill Walsh was laying the groundwork for 3 Super Bowl winning teams. 10th round draft pick Dwight Clark was a key member of those first 2. I've selected Drew Hill as the second wide receiver for this team. He was the Rams' 1979 12th round draft choice, played 14 years, had 5 1,000 receiving yards seasons, and made 2 Pro Bowl teams. At the time of his retirement, he was 8th all-time in receptions and 10th all-time in receiving yards. His most productive seasons were in the Oilers' run-and-shoot offense from 1985 through 1991. In 1974, wide receiver Tim Berra was drafted by the Colts in the 17th round. He's the son of baseball great Yogi Berra. Tim returned some punts and kickoffs in his only NFL season of 1974, but he never caught a pass. J.K. McKay was the Browns' 1975 16th round draft choice, but he signed to play for the World Football League's Southern California Sun. When the WFL folded, he was selected from the Browns by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the 1976 NFL expansion draft. His head coach with the Bucs was the same one he had in college at USC, his dad, John McKay. This was the last professional touchdown of his career. McKay was forced to retire due to complications from a broken hand. Neither Berra or McKay made the team that I comprised, but I added them since they were interesting late-round draft picks. The tight end is Gene Fugit, Dallas's 1972 13th round draft pick. He played out his contract option and signed as a free agent with the Redskins on May 7, 1976. He's one of only 3 NFL players drafted from Amherst. Wide receiver Freddie Scott was drafted by the Colts in 1974 out of Amherst, too. Here he's starring as a Detroit Lion. In 8 seasons, Fugit caught 156 passes with 28 touchdown catches. 18% of his catches went for touchdowns, which is a high rate. By comparison, Jamar Chase's 17 touchdowns on 127 catches last year translates to only a 13% ratio. University of Minnesota Dave Winfield was a terrific hitter and pitcher. He was the 4th overall draft pick in 1973 by the Padres. Winfield was also a talent in basketball and was drafted by the NBA Atlanta Hawks as well as by the ABA Utah Stars. In the 1973 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings drafted him as a tight end in the 17th round, even though he hadn't played college football. The human bowling ball was the nickname given to the last player drafted in the 1971 draft, Don Nottingham. His Colts lost to the Miami Dolphins in the 1971 AFC Championship game, but after his trade to the Dolphins on October 3, 1973, he became a Super Bowl champion. In 1974, he rushed for 8 touchdowns on only 66 carries. He was absolute money near the goal line. It was like trying to tackle a manhole cover. In 1975, he rushed for 718 yards and 12 touchdowns. In 1975, the Chicago Bears drafted running back Walter Payton with their first-round pick and drafted running back Roland Harper with their final pick in round 17. Harper played 7 years with the Bears, and in 1978 he rushed for 992 yards and received passes totaling 340 yards. An interesting selection of the New Orleans Saints in 1973 was Tampa running back Paul Orndorff in the 12th round. Mr. Wonderful went on to have a highly successful professional wrestling career. Center Joe Fields of the New York Jets is named as this team's center. Like Billy White Shoes Johnson, he attended Widener College. Fields made 2 Pro Bowl teams and 3 All-Pro teams. From 1975 through 1987, he played in 173 games for the Jets and another 13 games for the Giants in 1988. Honorable mention goes to the Packers' Larry McCarron, who played in 162 games for the Packers from 1973 through 1984. This 12th round draft pick made 2 Pro Bowl teams during his fine career. Guard Herbert Scott was the Cowboys' 1975 13th round draft pick from Virginia Union. Only 10 NFL players have been drafted from there. In 10 years, he played 140 games, made 3 Pro Bowl teams, and first-team All-Pro twice. This team's other guard is Tom Condon, who was the Chiefs' 1974 10th round selection from Boston College. In 12 years, he played 148 games and was the president of the National Football League Players Association from 1984 through 1986. He's the man behind the NFL's biggest contracts. Condon is a registered sports agent who said, "We had the first $20 million guaranteed contract, the first $30 million guaranteed, the first 40 was Matthew Stafford, the first 50 was Sam Bradford, the first 60 was Drew Brees, the first 90 was Stafford again, and the first 100 was Matt Ryan." The Redskins' George Stark was their 11th round pick in 1971 out of Columbia University. The most notable of the 16 players drafted from there is Bears Hall of Fame quarterback Sid Luckman, who was the 2nd overall draft pick in 1939. Stark played tackle for 146 games from 1973 through 1984 and was a member of the stellar Redskins offensive line that was nicknamed the Hogs. The Jets' Gary Petts played in 119 games over his 10-year career, and about half of those games were split between playing tackle and guard, so I'm designated him as a tackle on this team. He was a 1973 12th round draft pick by the Jets from Valparaiso. Only 4 NFL players have been selected from that school, with the most notable being Packers guard Fuzzy Thurston, who is a member of 5 NFL championship teams. Honorable mention goes to tackle Steve Sylvester, the Raiders' 1975 10th round draft pick. He played in 106 games and is a 3-time Super Bowl champion. The kicker is Mark Moseley, who the Eagles pegged with their 1970 14th round selection. At the time, he was only the 4th NFL player drafted from Stephen F. Austin. In Week 9 of the 1970 season at home against Atlanta, Moseley lined up for a 20-yard field goal attempt with 10 seconds remaining in a 13-13 tie. The game ended in that score. In 1971, he was waived to make way for the kicking combination of Tom Dempsey and Happy Feller. The Houston Oilers signed Moseley as a free agent on September 13, 1971. The Oilers released him after Week 1 of the 1972 season, and he was out of football during the entire 1973 season. He signed with Washington as a free agent on February 1, 1974, and he finally found a home. In 1982, he became the only pure special teams player to win the NFL MVP award. He was also the last straight-on, full-time kicker.